Hello everybody and welcome to my channel 100% Pure Elvis. Thank you all for taking the time out to return to the channel today, and if this is your first time tuning into the 100% Pure Elvis channel, welcome and thank you for joining. Now today I was working, returned home from work, had a lot to do at home, and I listened to a great album from the 1970s. It was released in 1975, and the album in question is Promised Land. I went through my vast collection of Elvis Presley vinyl and I listened to two albums. The other one I listened to was from Elvis Presley Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee, which I have done an upload for just before this one. Please return to my channel and you will see that upload as well. So Promised Land, it reached number 21 in the UK albums chart in 1975, and it was released in January of 1975. The image on the front there is, I think that image is from 1974, and again, the catalogue number for this one that I have is APL1 0873, APL1 0873. Now let's get through that track listing on Promised Land. We have Promised Land, There's a Honky Tonk Angel Who'll Take Me Back In, Help Me, Mr. Songman, Love Song of the Year. We have on side B, It's Midnight, Your Love's Been a Long Time Coming, If You Talk in Your Sleep, Thinking About You, You Asked Me To. Now, again, I think this is a great album from 1975. Now, again, it's not a favourite of mine from the 1970s. Again, it's probably middle of the table in regards to where this sits in my favourites from the 1970s. I keep on changing my mind. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower. You know, I'm quite fickle. I'm quite fickle like that. But when I go through the track listing, which I will quickly share with you there, which I've just read out, I love everything about the back here. It shares with you the Elvis Presley releases at that time that you could have purchased in the local record store. So we have Raised on Rock, hits of the 70s, Good Times, recorded live on stage in Memphis. I have every single one of them. Now, for me, first thing that I wanted to pick up on this album, Promised Land, is the length of the listening. It's only on for 28 minutes and 17 seconds. That is a very short album, in my personal opinion, for an Elvis album. But again, I think Elvis albums at that time, unless they were a live album, so if it's a studio album, they tended not to be that long, maybe 35, 40 minutes. But 28 minutes and 17 seconds for an album, I just think it's not that good, really. But let's talk through the songs on the album. I absolutely love the title track, Promised Land. What a great rocking track. Help Me, very different indeed, isn't it? Help Me. There's a Honky Tonk Angel Who'll Take Me Back In. It's Midnight, Mr. Songman, If You Talk in Your Sleep. Now, if I had to choose a favourite on the Promised Land album, now, oh God, it's a difficult one. I'm gonna go for There's a Honky Tonk Angel Who'll Take Me Back In. I absolutely love that. Closely followed by Help Me, and then the title track, Promised Land. Oh God, If You Talk in Your Sleep. Oh, If You Talk in Your Sleep as well is outstanding. So again, what would be your go-to on this album? What song on this album do you personally feel is the strongest track? Or do you think there's no weaker track on this album. Again, I've said it before, I don't think there is. There's no weak songs on the album, in my personal opinion. I think they're all great songs on the Promised Land album. Now, if I had to choose a least favourite on the album, I would go for probably Thinking About You. But again, I love everything about this album. Now, again, didn't even reach the top 20 in the UK album chart. It stalled at number 21. Let's talk about what were the reasons behind that. Again, singles off the album, Promised Land, again, great single, but didn't do as well in the UK for Elvis as it should have done. I do believe that might have been the only single off the album. Again, I haven't Googled this, so please correct me if I am wrong. I think that was the only UK single release of this album, Promised Land. And again, I know It's Midnight was that a B-side on? I'm not sure. I get disappointed in myself if I don't have the information at hand, but I don't want to give you incorrect information. So that's why I always say, if I do make an error in any of my uploads, I love my subscribers correcting me, because I don't want I don't want to say the wrong thing to you all with giving you wrong information. But yeah, so I love this album. I'll show you the vinyl inside. So again, it's original white sleeve with the orange RCA Victor label there in the middle. And there you go. It's in beautiful condition, stunning. And again, for me, Promised Land, again, it's an album that, let me get up, sorry, I'm just getting it back in its sleeve. So Promised Land, it's an album that I don't tend to listen to a great deal from the 1970s. So when I choose an album to listen to of Elvis, I have to think to myself, which one do I want to listen to? What sort of mood am I in? Or, you know, which would be the go-to album? It would very rarely be this. But when I went through my collection today, this was sitting next to the previous upload that I've done tonight, which I've put on my channel, from Elvis Presley Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee. Which I've actually just got next to me, because I've actually just finished the upload. So I listened to this one first, from Elvis Presley Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee, and then I went on to Promised Land. So they were sitting next to each other on my shelf, and I thought, yep, get this one on next. And great 70s album, and reached number 21 in the album charts. Let me share with you the copies that I have of this great album in my collection. I've also got it on the Music on Vinyl label, again, reissue, limited edition, and my limited edition numbered copy is 1836. What's different on the back here is not sharing with you hits from the 70s. It's sharing with you the same three here, but not hits from the 70s. See, that's the original. It's sharing with you hits from the 70s. On that one, it is sharing with you Having Fun with Elvis on Stage. And again, this is the beautiful Music on Vinyl copy. And this was issued in 2021. I only purchased it last year, I believe. I found a copy on Amazon, I believe. Again, let me share with you the vinyl inside. Comes in a black inner sleeve, very different. Now it comes on marble effect vinyl with the gold RCA Victor middle there, with the Music on Vinyl label as well. Now the sound quality, absolutely stunning. Now, what I will say is, do you know, when you have, so let's go through. On top, that's the original. And then we have the music on vinyl. There we go. So the original, slightly discoloured here because of how old it is. So the yellow here, slightly bit lighter, with the top one, the music on vinyl, more orangey. See what I mean? And again, that's what I mean about how different the album can be slightly. And with on the back, you've got the different albums it's sharing with you. On the original, hits from the 70s, and on the music on vinyl, Having Fun with Elvis on Stage. And now, the original sound quality on the original album, again, amazing. Very different from the music on vinyl copy from 2021. Remastered, isn't it? And sounds like a CD. What do I think about that? Personally, doesn't bother me. You know, as long as it's a great sounding record. I love the original records. I think, you know, if I had to go to one of them, I'd go to the original because I prefer listening to it, how it sounded originally. But the remastered copies are, again, superb, add great addition to my collection. I love the music on vinyl releases. Now let's go to the CDs that I own with Promised Land. So the first CD is the original CD release of Promised Land. So this is, I can't see what year it was released, unfortunately, the CD. Again, so that's the original CD from my collection. God, I don't know how long I've had that. So many years. And on the back, there you go. Or it's just your track listing, not showing anything else. Inside, like, you got the black and silver RCA there. Again, track listing. And then, if I remember correctly, so inside, just a little bit about the album inside. There we go. So that's the original CD of Promised Land. And then I've got it one more time in the collection. And this is with some bonus tracks. There we go. So as you can see, slightly different. So, and on the reverse, see, that's top's the original, bottom's the reissue. Great image of Elvis there. And now again, I think that image is from 1975. And again, quickly get through the track listing on this CD with bonus tracks. Promised Land, There's a Honky Tonk Angel, Help Me, Mr. Songman, Love Song of the Year, It's Midnight, Your Love's Been a Long Time Coming, If You Talk in Your Sleep, Thinking About You, You Asked Me To. Now the bonus tracks on this reissue CD are Loving Arms, I've Got a Feeling in My Body, If That Isn't Love, She Wears My Ring, My Boy, Spanish Eyes, Talk About the Good Times, Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues. Share with you the CD inside. Gorgeous looking CD. Now I think this is from 1973, I believe, this image of Elvis. Underneath the CD, sharing with you the single release of If You Talk in Your Sleep and Help Me. Now we were talking earlier about, am I incorrect with regards to the singles being released off Promised Land? So I'm not sure If You Talk in Your Sleep was issued in the UK. Again, please correct me if I am wrong. And the sleeve in here is just standard, where it's got, again, some lovely images of Elvis inside. Absolutely great little booklet here. More information. There you go. And for me, as I was saying earlier, Promised Land is an album I tend not to listen to a great deal, but when I listen to the album itself, let me get up the reissue. When I do listen to Promised Land, I really enjoy it, and Sometimes I think to myself, oh, I've not listened to this for so long. Why haven't I listened to it in a while? So I was really happy listening to this album today when I returned home from work. Put me in a place where I felt like felt quite relaxed. I was doing the dinner, I was doing some washing up, and I thought, let's get some Elvis on. So first of all, I put on from Elvis Presley Boulevard in Memphis, Tennessee, which I have just done an upload of. Please return to the channel to watch that. Closely followed by Promised Land. Now, before I close out, please share your comments on the album Promised Land from 1975. Where does that sit in regards to your favourite albums of Elvis from the 70s, or least favourites, or throughout his career? You know, where would you put that? And is it an album that you listen to a lot? And what's your favourite song on the album? And again, really look forward to reading your comments below. So before I sign out, if you haven't yet subscribed to the 100% Pure Elvis, please hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the 100% Pure Elvis family. And please keep Elvis close to your hearts. Please keep on playing his music. Love to you all, everybody. Bye-bye.